Hey everybody, it's Heidi Harris back again with another powerful video. This one focusing on Las Vegas, but it's more of an international story because Vegas is an international city, right? And if we didn't have F1 coming to Vegas, then nobody would know about Vegas, right? Anyway, I've done several videos on F1. I will link them in the description here. F1, Formula One racing, destroyed Las Vegas. It does every year. They tear the place apart. They have scaffolding everywhere. It looks terrible. And beyond all of that, it's costing business owners in Las Vegas area a fortune. One of them joins me right now. By the way, F1 weeks ago, still scaffolding and stuff up everywhere. They're actually going to close an entire street. It's currently closed for a week, which just cuts in more into the profits of people who are small business owners. One of them joins me. Bohn is his name. He owns a business called Jay's Market, which is in Flamingo and Koval. If you've ever been to the Strip, you go behind Paris, Bally's, all that, and then you go, a block. Actually, it's actually a block straight back. Koval and Flamingo, major intersection in Vegas, where he had the brains years ago to buy a convenience store. Very smart, except for things like this that cause problems. How are you, Wade? Glad to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me, Heidi. I appreciate it.
I did a video a couple of weeks ago. I drove down because I'd heard all the stories. Like most locals, I avoid the Strip, but I went down to drive around and see how bad it was. I will link that video in the description, but I took a couple of still photos. They're not the best photography, but I wanted people to see what you're dealing with. This is a bridge that they built, goes right down Flamingo. So it obviously blocks anybody's access who's trying to get to your store from Bally's and all of that. That's out the door. Here's another video, a picture I shot of your business basically being blocked with this fence from any kind of foot traffic. And obviously that's getting worse as they're taking these things down. So talk to me about how this, first of all, you've owned the business 18 years, right?
Almost 16 years.
Okay. And you're a native of Las Vegas?
Born and raised.
Yeah, there you go. See, we're the best. Talk to me about what's happened over the last couple of years with your business.
Heidi, it's literally the worst thing that could ever happen to businesses. When the city allows somebody to block the entrance to their business for months. And I went in 2022, which was COVID related. I did $9.6 million in sales, and that was my best year ever. And the next year, 2023, when F1 came to town, built that bridge that was 4 lanes instead of 2, totally shut off access on Flamingo. Flamingo is the second busiest street in our city. Tropicana, Flamingo, Sahara. Flamingo is the second busiest street.
Right. And to give people an idea, if they've never been down Flamingo, if you come to Las Vegas and you look and you see where the Bellagio is, Caesars, all of that, Flamingo is the street that goes between those hotels, just to give everybody an idea.
Yeah, correct. I mean, the traffic is crazy, but then F1 comes along and they completely shut off Flamingo and Koval, which is the racetrack. So I sit on the corner of both of those streets and they completely shut me off. It's been, I mean, this year was worse than last year by about $100,000. So $3.6 million I lost compared to 22 on 23, and 24 is about 3.7 million.
That's unbelievable. So realistically, you're losing about a third of your income because of this F1. What people don't understand is that the F1 construction goes on for months prior to this stupid race that goes on for a couple of days. They still have not torn down all of the construction right in front of your business. I mean, this goes on for months and months before and after. That's what people need to know.
Yeah, they do. And here's the crazy part. You would think after the race, it's an hour and a half race. I mean, last year they started construction April 23rd, all the way through the end of December.
Wow.
So this year they didn't have to repave, so they started in July all the way till now, and the bridge is currently being taken down and should be taken down by Sunday night, which will open both Flamingo and Koval.
Wow.
But what they don't understand is that my peak time is Christmas, Cowboy Christmas, NFR, and all through that, I was blocked off. Nobody could get to me.
That's ridiculous. And also, I was thinking about this the other day. This is just a side note, but we love the Cowboys. We love the NFR. They come to town. They're a Cowboy Christmas. Lots of Cowboys. We love them. They behave well. I love the rodeo. Many years I've gotten to go. Wonderful thing. But can you imagine being a cowboy and look at all this crap? The strip does not look, and I will, once again, folks, I will link a video that I shot of the strip. It looks nothing like it normally looks. They spent millions of dollars a few years back to put all the medians in, beautiful landscaping, palm trees, all of that's gone. They've destroyed it. So you come to Vegas, this beautiful town, even after the race as a cowboy, and it's just a complete, it looks like nothing but an erector set, the entire strip.
No, that is so true. And you can, one of the highlights of Vegas is the Bellagio fountains. Well,
Right.
they completely blocked that
Mhm.
where nobody can see it.
Yeah, I got a video of that too. And by the way, if you don't know where the Bellagio fountains are, if you know Bruno Mars 24 Karat Magic video, he's riding the jet ski in the Bellagio fountains, just for frame of reference for those who don't know. And they used to have a bunch of beautiful trees in front. It was absolutely gorgeous. One of the prettiest places to be in Las Vegas. Tore all the trees down a couple years ago. Everybody was upset. Put new ones down, tore them down. They've got scaffolding, and you can't even see the fountains, as you mentioned. Once again, that will be reflected in the video. Crazy land that the stuff has gone on, and they don't care.
No, they don't. You know what? F1 is F1 is allowed to do what they're doing because the county has allowed them to do what they're doing, but really the culprit of the whole thing is Steve Hill, the CEO and president of LVCVA.
Yeah. Mr. Excitement. You know, the LVCVA, that's another story for another day. For those who don't know, Las Vegas Convention Visitors Authority has, and I saw Steve Hill speak a couple months ago. I was there with Lisa Mayo, who's been representing you in this, and a bunch of us were at this lunch. Steve Hill spoke. I don't mean to rag on him, but he's the most boring speaker. I was expecting something interesting. I was falling asleep, really boring, but I was stunned. Even I don't know as a native, didn't realize the power that agency has.
Oh,
And the amount of money that they use, and they get it from room revenues, taxes on rooms. But it's unbelievable how much authority they have, and they shouldn't. And they use this excuse that, oh, well, Vegas is going to be an international city. Everybody in the world knows about Las Vegas. And this was the problem that Sheldon Adelson had for a lot of years, was the LVCVA would take that money and build convention space that competed with private businesses like the Venetian, and as if Vegas needs somebody to promote them. Hello, everyone knows we're here.
oh, you're 100% correct. No, but we don't need F1. F1 needs us.
Right.
And everybody else needs us because we're uh, one of the greatest cities on the planet. I mean, everybody loves Vegas. Everybody wants to come to Vegas.
Right.
The promotion, we don't need F1 to promote Las Vegas. F1 needs us to promote them. And
Right.
what they're doing to us, small businesses, what they're doing to us is criminal. I mean, really criminal.
Yeah, I saw the other day there was an article written by an op-ed written by a former county commissioner, Christian Kiliani, a Democrat, but I agreed with her on a lot of things that she said. Very common sense, and she's criticizing it. But I'd love to see if she was on the board now. If she was still a county commissioner, would she really stand up against this? I don't know. Now, my understanding is they don't actually even have a contract. Am I right or wrong about that?
The county doesn't have a contract. It's LVCVA, which came out a couple months ago. They're the ones that have the contract. So I don't know. I don't understand how the county allows somebody else to dictate what the county. Here, you know what, Heidi? Here's the thing, though. There's 3 county commissioners that sit on the LVCVA board.
Yeah.
So when the LVCVA needs something,
Yeah.
those 3 people get out of their seats at LVCVA
Mhm.
sit down in their seats in the county,
Yeah.
and they all vote yes.
That's the city of Las Vegas. The city ends at Sahara. So everything else on the strip, including what we're talking about now, is the county, comes under the county's jurisdiction. And so the Clark County Commission positions are extremely powerful. And that's why everybody wants to be a Clark County commissioner. But it's ridiculous that you could be on the LVCVA board and also be a commissioner. I mean, it's an outrageous breach of trust and conflict of interest.
You're putting the fox in the hen house.
Of course you are.
It doesn't make any sense. And I've been to 17 county commission meetings, and no, I don't care what they're voting on, but every time they vote, I've never seen a no vote in 17 times.
It was interesting too, because I remember watching when they had they were trying to rescind I think it was the mask mandate a few years back with the COVID and all that. And I watched the county commission hearing. I just watched it online. And people got up except for one person. One person wanted the mask mandate. Everybody else was saying it's hurting business and da 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 da. And the county commission just sat there and looked at them with their arms folded across their chest, like, uh-huh. And they voted to continue the mask mandate. They don't give a rat's butt what you have to say, or I have to say, or the average person or a business owner. They don't care about anybody. What anyone else has to say, their mind's already made up.
They literally, they think they're God.
Yeah.
Just like Steve Hill thinks he's God. And I said it to his face. I said, Steve, you think you're God? And he grinned and smiled at me and said, well, I don't think so. Well, he does think he can do whatever he wants.
Right.
And he does. He does whatever he wants. We destroy this city for an hour and a half race once a year.
That's crazy.
Both of us being natives, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can't destroy. I mean, Ellis Island, Batista's Hole in the Wall, Stage Door, me, Ferraro's.
All of them.
It doesn't make sense to just destroy what we business owners have worked so hard for to make a living. I mean, it's it's unbelievable and criminal.
Yeah, it is criminal. I was going to say it's
Criminal what
absolutely
they're
criminal.
doing to us.
Absolutely criminal. So now there is a lawsuit pending on this, correct? Tell me what's happening with that. Where you stand on the lawsuit? Because I know you were trying to sue, you and Ferraro's and a couple other places were trying to sue for loss of revenue. Correct me if I'm wrong about any of this, and tell me what's happening now.
Okay, so it's me, Batista's, Stage Door, which is Randy Markin and Tanya Markin.
And that's for people who don't know, that's right next to you. That's kind of across from Valley, so it's right there.
Yeah, right. And it's been there. It was there before I was born.
I know.
So,
the same family owned it. They're not stupid. Same family's owned it all these years, entire shopping center. And it's a great little restaurant. They have that whole strip center there.
yeah, I mean, it's been there forever. And Gino Ferraro's been in town forever too. And I mean, we're all of us are in the same lawsuit together, and we're suing F1 and the county for our losses. Now this Ellis Island we initially were going to be with Ellis Island, but they have a different lawsuit because they went in partners with them with F1.
Oh.
And they're already in court. We're not in court yet, but yeah, we're but there's the Meridians is about to file a lawsuit against them too. So I mean, if they Heidi, if I know they got a 3-year contract from the county, if they go past 3 years, there's so many things that should happen. You know what they say? They built that $565 million paddock.
Ugly building. Yeah. Hideous thing.
Terrible. But Liberty Media is a $500 billion company.
Yeah. I don't care what you built.
I went to Denver to their corporate office by myself and picketed on their property.
Wow.
And they called the cops out, and I had 3 SUVs pull up and ask me to leave the property.
Wow.
So I walked across the street, and I stayed there for 8.5 hours with signs that said F1, F to Las Vegas.
Right. And that's what a lot of people think, that the normal people believe that the locals won't go near the strip right now. And the only reason I did it was because I wanted to actually see for myself what was going on and get a video of it. But the locals, even locals who want to go down to somewhere like Batista's or somewhere where you can still park for free. I don't go to a place with a charge for parking because I grew up here like you did. I'm not paying for that stuff. But they don't want to go near the place because they don't know what they're going to be facing. All they know is traffic, congestion, construction. That's all they know. So 8 months or 6 months a year, people aren't going to go near the place, and that hurts you too because you do get some local business.
That you're 100% correct. So I go to Caesar's Palace, Monte Cristo Cigar Bar twice a week, and I park valet underneath. The valet people have told me that business this year was horrific. Nobody, but they still have to pay the same amount in taxes.
So they're stuck for the same tip allocation. Wow, that is terrible.
And the bartenders inside the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar told me this year that they were completely dead. Last year they were packed. This year there was nobody.
Wow.
So you can see it peaked the first year, and now it's going down. And I have two friends that work for that are Metro police officers, and they're like, they're really pissed off at LVCVA because they fudged the numbers. They staffed enough people for the amount that they got the permit for from the county, which was 102,000, I think. And they staffed enough people, and then LVCVA comes out and says, no, that's 102,000 per day. Well, that's not what the event was. What they did, the event was 102,000 for 3 days. An event is 3 days, not each day. So They lied, and then now Metro is the two guys I know. One's pretty high up. They're really, really pissed off at LVCVA.
Well, what makes me mad about it too, besides them fudging the numbers, which we know they did, because that's what you do. Well, that's all you got to do is manipulate the data, right? Make it say anything you want it to say.
Oh, yeah.
But beyond that, when they say, oh, it brings in, 300,000, 400,000 people. Yeah, that's Friday night and every week in Vegas. Your point?
For sure.
We have 150,000 hotel rooms in Vegas, and most weekends they're all full. I don't care what's happening. So don't give me this nonsense that F1 filled the hotel rooms, because that's a bunch of hooey, and I'm cleaning that up.
Yeah.
I want to say another word.
You got MGM bringing in these high rollers, spending multi millions of dollars. But last year, these casinos are supposed to know where the money comes from. Well, MGM got slapped on the wrist because of last year. And now this year, Caesar's is way down. Caesar properties are way down. MGM is still doing well, but I mean, is this good for one or good for all?
Well, that's the point. I interviewed, Vital Vegas. You know him, Scott. Okay, Scott Robin, Vital Vegas. I did a video with him the other day. And by the way, I'll link that to this too. He was talking about that. And he was saying, 4 businesses are making money off this. 4 basically is what it comes down to. And if you've got, even if the MGM's doing well, and they're bringing in people who are coming to, so what? People would be here anyway. That's my point. Maybe different people, but the people would come anyway. That's the point. We're not bringing anyone new into town as far as the numbers. Maybe new people who've never been here before, but I doubt it. But the numbers are going to be the same either way. At what cost to everybody else? That's the question.
Yeah, it's a huge cost to us small businesses for sure. I mean, if this was to go for 10 years, Heidi, I'm telling you, I'll be out of business. 100%. If this goes past 3 years, I will probably be bankrupt within the 4th or 5th year.
Oh my gosh.
I used to have 12 employees. I have 4.
Wow. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
Well,
so now, what's the possibility? I know they had a hearing after the race this year, right? They've already had that hearing at the commission. What happened there?
Pretty much nothing. Here's the great part. It hasn't come out yet. They haven't figured out the numbers. But last year, the county lost $500,000. So they haven't done the numbers for this year's event, but it should be coming up within the next month or two. And I can't wait to be in that commission meeting and see how much they lost this year. I probably won't be the first one to say this, and I won't be the last one, but Steve Hill runs his city.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point, and probably a lot of people think that.
He does whatever he wants.
Mhm.
He's got endless amounts of cash.
Tons of power. And by the way, if you guys prevail in a lawsuit, this is what pisses me off as a resident of the area. After all is said and done with these things, whether it's the city, and I'm going to talk about that in my next video, the city having to pay this developer a huge amount of money for the golf course they wouldn't let him develop on. I'll do that later, but I would talking local Vegas issues here. At the end of the day, if they pay you massive amounts of money, which they owe you, guess whose pocket that's coming out of? Mine, not theirs. It should be coming out of their pocket.
100%.
Their budget, and it won't.
No, it won't. It comes out of everybody that lives in this city.
Right.
So everybody is paying the price for my loss, for their loss. I mean, it's literally criminal. I mean, something needs to be done about it. And you know what? I know that part of these county commissioners next year are going to have to, get voted back in. And I'm in NAF's district in Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't change what the hell they're doing, then I'm going to run for his district and try to get him out of there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, good for you. It just happened in Henderson. They got rid of an entrenched incumbent.
And Gibson needs to go for sure. He's a career politician. He's in Steve Hill's back pocket. He's on their board. I don't understand how that board is. It's a city manager or the LV city manager. If they get somebody for everybody, but how they put 3 LV county commissioners on that LVCVA board it's just. I mean,
yeah, that shouldn't happen. That's talk about a conflict of interest. That is crazy. But I'm heartbroken for you. I'm heartbroken for Ferraros and Ellis Island and Batistas and all these little businesses that have done extremely well for all these years being destroyed by this. I mean, it frustrates. It's like when they had the COVID shutdowns. The people who are never going to suffer are the ones making the decisions on how the little guys are supposed to behave and what's going to hurt them. They don't care about the little guys.
My God,
they're getting their money. They're getting their tickets. They don't care. You
are so right. You've hit the nail on the head right there. They don't care because they're not suffering.
Right. Exactly. Right. It's like well, that goes on all day, every day. Listen, Wade, great talking to you. We will talk again as this situation progresses, but God bless you. Chin up, and I hope you prevail. Once again, I want to show people this is a kind of nonsense going on with this business. Look at that. That bridge goes right down the middle of one of the busiest streets. If you go behind that, like behind it, you'll see valleys and all that, but they shouldn't be shutting off his business. Look at this nonsense. You can't even get there.
Yeah. I can't sell any gas. Because nobody can get in.
It's insane. Well, listen, if you get a chance, guys, go to Jay's Market. If you can possibly get in there, Koval and Flamingo.
Heidi, thank you so much for being a big supporter of the city and the businesses that survive here. You truly make a difference.
Someone's got to be the rock in their shoe, and so yeah, it's incredibly frustrating to me, but I don't like people who just look down on the little people and don't care what happens to them. Thank you, Wade. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate you.
Check all my information out, HeidiHarrisShow.com. Videos, podcasts, Twitter, Rumble, all that good stuff. Check it all out, HeidiHarrisShow.com, also HeidiHarris.com. Get on my email list. and I'll keep you updated on what's going on. So listen, guys, hope you have a good Christmas. I'm going to do one more video before the holiday season, and then I'm going to be doing radio all week long. So check out my Facebook page, Heidi Harris Show, for information on that. All right, guys, we will talk soon. Very frustrating. I hope you have a great holiday season, though.